Casemiro joins the injury list at Manchester United. News today breaking that Casemiro is out for a sustained period of time, several weeks in fact. I'm hearing that could even be around February time. Absolutely devastating news for Manchester United fans right now, as if we didn't need any more doom and gloom around this football club. It's just coming in waves right now. Just bring it on, I think it seems, is like the theme at the moment with Manchester United and bad news coming out of the football club. Ten Hag has been talking in his press conference today as well. He's talking about players that will be available. We're hearing that there could actually be an illness for Victor Lindelof as well today. It's just like the place is just cursed beyond. I mean, anyone who walks through them doors behind me at Carrington, basically, just strap yourself in. Get a jab, get something, like wrap them up in bubble wrap, whatever you want to do, because it's cursed at the moment. Nothing good is coming out of what is happening off the pitch and on the pitch. I mean, well, results. And I just feel like these injuries are just adding to the excuses. They really are. I mean, there's loads of people that have been talking about the injuries around Manchester United this season. They are stupid and it does need looking into. But let's not let people get away with poor performances just because certain players are missing. I mean, I talked about this the other day about people making an excuse for Marcus Rashford being out of form just because Luke Shaw's not in the team. Well, Casemiro, who was our captain the other night against Newcastle, is now on that injury list alongside Luke Shaw. Now, it came out early this morning. It's been released by the club that he's out for a sustained period. Most of the journalists are covering this as several weeks just to cover themselves. No one knows. And no one actually, I mean, it's the first time we've actually heard in a while what the actual injury is. So it was a hamstring injury. Ten Hag usually doesn't allow the news to come out about what type of injury it is or what injury a player has got when that news breaks. But we know that it's a hamstring for Casemiro. Hamstrings, well, we all know they're probably one of the worst that you can get muscle-wise. And if it is a sustained period of time, then it must be a decent grade of tear within that hamstring, especially for Casemiro to be missing. I mean, what does this do to our team? What does it do to the morale? Is it actually a chance for someone to actually step up? Is it a chance for our player of the month, Scott McTominay? I mean, how many games has the guy started? It shows you how bad we've actually been this month when Scott McTominay is our player of the month. I mean, talk about scraping the barrel. No disrespect, Scott, but obviously you've got player of the month because of a 5-minute cameo against Brentford the other day, which Ten Hag has been clinging on to in his press conference today, also saying that the character is there within the squad. They're behind each other. Look what happened at Brentford. If there wasn't characters and they wasn't playing for each other, then we wouldn't have got them goals in the last few minutes. No. Brentford and their tactics and getting us that injury time is what got us that. And it was a lucky punt from Erik Ten Hag. I mean, if you're looking for a goal, you're not sending Scott McTominay on, are you? He literally had no other throw of the dice. He had nothing left in his locker. Go on, Scott, on you go. Well, Scott McTominay is up there of our leading goal scorers this season. The other one is the headline of this video, Mr. Casemiro himself. So we're losing goals as well as holding midfielder. Is he a holding midfielder? Where is he playing at the moment? Where is his best position? Like I said, is this actually as bad news as people are reporting? Is there now a chance for someone to nail down that position that Casemiro has left? Could it be that we change formation? Could it be that now we see no excuse to not play Amrabat? Can Amrabat find his feet in the Premier League? Can he actually start proving that he is worth that permanent deal? We all thought he was going to be the player that came. Well, I did. I don't know about you guys. You let me know. Drop your comments in below. Was Sofian Amrabat that player? Did you think he was that type of player that was going to come in and change everything for us in midfield? Was he going to be that one master of one trade in that hole? I don't know. To be honest, I'm looking at him now and I'm disappointed, but someone needs to step up. Does this mean the likes of Kobe Mainoo coming back from injury get that opportunity? So I want to turn the negative from this video and the news that's come out with Casemiro into a positive, because honestly, I don't care if Casemiro's fit or not at the moment. He's been playing crap this season. So if he wasn't playing against Fulham, I really couldn't give a toss, to be honest. No one in that team deserves a spot right now. I'm scraping the barrel for literally anyone to actually warrant a place out of the whole 11. You can go through the whole team and no one really deserves a spot in that team, did he? So, honestly, Casemiro being out injured, and it could be, we're hearing obviously that it could be around about February time, which is probably the longest absentee now. We're expecting Martinez and Shaw back around about December, January time. So Casemiro being out, is this not the perfect opportunity to start blooding Kobbie Mainoo in a position there? Could we now see a completely different dynamism in our midfield? There's no excuse now to play the stars. There's no excuse. He's not available, so don't play him. I mean, so don't play him. There's no excuse, so play someone else there. Let them hold down that position. Give them the chance, and then when Casemiro is back fit, he has to fight for his place back in the squad. Actually, try being Manchester United for a change instead of trying to appease all the superstars within this squad, because that's what's happening right now. The favourites, like I talked about in the video last night. I mean, you can actually say that it's not the superstars that are getting favouritism. He's not actually, because the big stars are who are actually spitting the dummies out right now because they're not getting game time. But if Casemiro was fit, we know that Casemiro was going to play in this team. Him being injured now, I look at it and I go, you know what? Not really bothered. This is a good opportunity now. And Kobbie Mainoo coming back fit. And I don't want to put all my hopes onto Kobbie Mainoo. I don't. It's too much pressure. And like I said, he's hardly had any game time. Is he being overhyped? You could argue that point as well. I'm just being real and saying it as it is. I think Kobbie Mainoo has got qualities, and all the words and the games that I went to last season in the under-21s as well, watching Kobbie Mainoo, he was a standout player every single time pretty much. So at that level, that's good. Yeah, but we've also seen a lot of players come through great at that level, but then fail when they make the first team. And coming into Manchester United, like I said the other day, it's not the best time for a youth academy player to come through into this Manchester United squad, is it? It's like a dead squad walking right now. There's no enthusiasm within it. There's no encouragement, it would seem. Everyone's fighting for themselves and thinking for themselves. And Ten Hag can say what he wants to in his press conference, that the team are behind each other. Everyone is up for the fight. But when we watch it on the pitch, the same old excuses and the same old criticisms being talked about after every single game. So I don't fully believe Ten Hag when he says that. I don't. Because I know what I'm watching on the pitch. And you cannot ignore. You can talk about stats. You can talk about comebacks against Brentford and use that as your backup to things actually still being, cohesive and good vibe around Manchester United. But honestly, nothing else works, and there's no better test than the eye test. And we all know what we're watching. We watch it every single week, and it's failure. That's what it is. So I'm not being blown away by words. So what is the action? That's what I want to see. Let's walk the walk instead of talking it, because anyone can do a good press conference and a big speech after the game. We've got plenty of players who are good at that, saying we'll go again. It's not acceptable. Well, no, it's not. But rather than talk about it, actually go and show us next week. And there's not been enough of that. There's not been enough of that from any player in this squad. Casemiro, it's not as bad as it's not as bad news as everyone's making out for me. I mean, yes, it's disappointing. We need that experience. You got to deal with injuries. And I think in that area, there's probably more of an opportunity than other positions on the pitch. If it was another defender that was being injured, then I would be worried. I would be really, really worried. But Casemiro, I think we've got enough there to cover. Because let's be honest, like I said, Casemiro has been pretty crap this season. So what are we really missing? It's a chance, I feel, more than anything, an opportunity rather than a negative. I think it could be a positive. And it'd be interesting to see how we line up against Fulham tomorrow. By the way, the preview will be live later tonight, people, on the channel. I've got a Fulham fan coming on as well to bring the side over from London. He's been talking to me off camera saying, yes, he's very, very confident. And that's not because of how Fulham are playing. It's quite clearly because of how we're coping at the moment and what we're putting out. But yes, more talk about what happened with Ten Hag in the press conference as well later on. Ten Hag reported in The Sun as well. I'm going to talk about that later tonight, about him clinging on to his job and desperate. Varane is back in the squad as well from his illness or whatever you want to say. I'm not having that one either. But yeah, we'll talk about that later. Guys, drop your comments in below. Let me know what you think. I want to know. Do you think this is bad news or is it good news? Are we really going to miss Casemiro? And who do you want replacing him in the squad? That's what I want to know from you lot. Let me know. Like, share, and subscribe. As always, everyone, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you later tonight.